Hi guys. So this is just the start to this vlog. I told you guys I would film a reaction vlog to Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, and I left my camera at home today and I didn't think about it when I left the house. So I just wanted to briefly, I've read kind of the opening 2 chapters, and it starts with, you know, a space battle because we are in a sci-fi film, essentially, you know. This is, if you have not read Skyward yet, I highly recommend checking out my Skyward reaction vlog. Most of that's spoiler free. I mean, I think I get spoilery towards the end of it, but you can kind of get a good feel for what it's about from the first part of that video. So I will leave that linked for you guys to check out. But real quickly, so we open with a big space battle scene. We are in a sci-fi, so that's not really a spoiler. And the way it all goes down was super interesting to me and still feels very Spencer, is what I'll say. And M-Bot is like at his sassy prime. Love the M-Bot. And yes, so this is not Murderbot from All Systems Red. Very different kind of situation. This is more, think Flight of the Navigator, and that'll probably be a better connection for you on the kind of what M-Bot is. So anyhow, yes, I'm gonna absorb this book so fast. I can tell you that right now. It is just what I need right now. I just finished Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan, which I really enjoyed, but I think this one's just, it's different enough from what I just read that it's just consuming me. It's going to be a fast read. I'll try to check in as much as I can, but it's one of those things where it's a thing. And I should have makeup on the next time I check in. Hey friends, so it's actually been about 24 hours since we last spoke. Yesterday was kind of wild, so I didn't end up doing any check-ins, but I did get a little bit of reading done. So I am now about 75 pages in to Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, and that's officially the end of part 1. Brandon is very quick with his storytelling in his YA novels, so a lot has happened. So Spencer is now on her way to be with the aliens that don't seem so alien. And what's going on is a lot has happened. So there's the first altercation that I mentioned in the previous clip. And then we had kind of a debrief and some new information, which was really, really wild. And then from there, what happened was we got news of an alien ship that no one had recognized. And so obviously Spencer's quickest, and because she could kind of sense the ship coming. And so, you know, she immediately starts heading toward M-Bot, and they go and basically save this ship because they want its technology. And what happens from there is she speaks with the human and has a very Star Trek element of the alien wearing a device that translates. And so Spencer, on the fly, quickly formulates this plan to go where she was going to go and to imitate her, because M-Bot can holographically project the look of this alien onto Spencer because she's very humanoid. And so it feels very Star Trek at this moment, which I'm totally okay with. I like Star Trek, guys. Like, this is not a slight. And so now it's kind of becoming this hero's journey kind of story a little bit with this. And her and Jorgen have a moment. There's a kiss. Oh my gosh. And in the first book, I wasn't a huge Jorgen fan, but there's been some time that's passed and they've both kind of not advanced anything. They've still been getting to know each other better, but they'd not taken that romantic step yet. And on impulse, because she might never see him again, she just goes for it and like plants one on him. And of course he kisses her back, and it's this whole moment. And then she gets in the cockpit and M-Bot says, "I'm confused." Just, you know, leave it to Brandon Sanderson to immediately diffuse a romantic situation. He is one that his romances are always a very low subplot. Like, they never take over his story, which is really great. But I just thought the moment was kind of fun and kind of cute. That's right in the last chapter of part 1. And then she had gotten some information from the alien, and she tugs on that information in her mind, and it engages her cytonic hyperdrive, and it shoots her across to somewhere. I don't know where yet. I need to start part 2 so that I know. But I wanted you guys to know it's good. I'm enjoying it. Clearly, this is a full spoiler talk and reaction review kind of situation. But yeah, it's good. Hi, friends. So it's been a minute since we last chatted in this vlog. Well, it's only been like seconds for you, but it's been days for me. We are now at December 26th, which is Boxing Day. As you can see, my salon is very cleaned out right now. Still have a little bit of work to do in the back, but generally speaking, we're pretty much done here. I'm doing some final clean out kind of things right now, and it's been a lot. But I wanted to update you on Starsight. So I officially just got to part 3. Part 2 was super wild for me. There was a lot going on. So we've got Spencer essentially, sorry, let me prop you up here. So we've essentially got Spencer like undercover at Starsight right now, and it's interesting. Sanderson made the choice to make her feel lonely away from home, which I think is a good choice. But at the same time, I don't trust anybody on Starsight, just like Spencer. There have been political maneuverings in front of her face, and it's been really interesting so far. And the group is very ruthless. And that first part of the test was really interesting for me. There's an interlude at the beginning of part 3. I know we're going to be getting Jorgen's perspective on that moment, and I'm ready for that because I need to know how much time has passed back in Earth time from where Spencer's at right now. And so I'm really interested to know what's going on with our detritus friends. And it's been really, really good. Better than I was expecting, honestly. I've basically primarily been doing the audiobook this go around, and I really like the narrator, so that helps a lot. And I really continue to enjoy the story a lot. I think Sanderson does sci-fi well. I hope he does more sci-fi in future. I mean, not superhero. Like, even Steelheart still felt more fantasy than sci-fi. But this has been true sci-fi with a touch of fantasy, which I really am enjoying a lot. And so I am very much a fan of this. I continue to consume it whenever I feel like I can. I took a couple days off from any sort of reading or audio booking just because it was the holidays and I needed some downtime. Monday when I was cleaning out here was much more emotional than I expected it to be. And so, yeah, today it's been much better. I'm not so emotional about it. But anyways, tomorrow will be final clean out for sure. But I've got a few more things that I kind of want to take care of before I leave for the day. I just wanted to give you a quick update that Starsight is still amazing. I am still reading it. This has been the longest it's taken me to read a book in a long while, but a lot is going on in my life, so I just don't have as much time for reading. So that's what's going on there. So anyways, chat with you guys soon. Hello, quick check-in. Yes, I'm in my car. Yes, I've still been listening to the audiobook. So I'm just about to start part 4. So I just finished part 3 and listened to the interlude. One thing Sanderson likes to do in his novels is he likes to give you like a small side story as well in most of his novels. I don't think the Reckoners trilogy does it, but most of his other ones he does, where you get somebody who's outside of the main story that they're telling. You're getting little bits from them, and the person we're getting those little bits from in this particular novel is Jorgen, and I needed that a lot. I know Brandon said he had to go back and do some extensive edits on this particular one, and I wonder if it's these interactions, these Jorgen interactions, to help kind of fill out parts of the story, because I'm loving it so much. Everything that's going on, they keep dropping hints about things that are going to be really interesting in the books to come, if these are truly what's going on. I mean, we still have 2 parts left in this book, so we've got part 4 and part 5 left to go. We've probably got somewhere between 15 and 20 chapters more like 200-ish pages is what I want to say. But there's still a decent amount of book left. I'm still loving this. Spencer getting to know these other races in this novel because of being on Starsight is really interesting to me. And I feel like right now she's not heeding the warning of Alanik. And I really wonder how that's going to play into the rest of the story. I think that part's probably going to come to a head in part 4, I'm assuming. And then in part 5, we're going to have kind of the final battle style moment. And it's just really interesting to know what's going on. I'm still loving this. Like, I am trying to be vague for the sake of being vague. But in case somebody's watching this that hasn't yet read Starsight but wants a good feel of the book. But as with most Sanderson books, I continue to love it. I really think the way he thinks through his stories before, he always knows where he wants to go from the beginning of the book to the end of a book. And then his journey in getting there is the interesting part to me. Because he always knows where he wants to go. It's just a matter of how. And I know that we're going to have like an extra year, maybe 2, before we get the next book. But I'm still loving it. And I don't regret reading it now. So if that's something you're worried about, go ahead and read it now. I have a feeling that there's going to be a good pause here. Where it's going to be like half the story in books 1 and 2. And then a distinct half in 3 and 4. I think there's going to be something big. I don't think he's going to leave us on a cliffhanger. That's not Sanderson's style. So I'm really interested to know what's going to happen. So, yes. That's where I'm at. Wanted you to know. And it's like Friday night. I'm about to go grab some dinner with a friend. And, yeah. Anyways, I will chat with you guys after I've read some more. Bye, Salon. You've been real good to me. Thanks for the last 3.5 years. Time to close this chapter and start the next one. Okay, so let's chat about Starsight. We just figured out what hyperdrives are. I'm dying inside a little bit. I am really just... I have my suspicions as to what Doomslug really is all I'm gonna say. And why hyperdrives work the way they do. I have my suspicions. But that doesn't mean they're right. If I am right, I don't know how I feel about that. But if I'm wrong, I'm really interested to see how he plays it. So, anyways, everything that has happened in the last little bit has been insane. So we've seen the weapon used, the weapon for the Diones used, and then we figured out what hyperdrives are. We've gotten to know Kuna and Vapor better, but can we trust them? I'm not sure yet. I'm just jumping into chapter 35. That'll kind of roughly tell you where I'm at in my reading. So I've got a couple chapters left in part 4, and then I've got part 5 left. So, guys, I love this. Like, I know I've been reading it slowly, but it is so good. Like, I have no qualms or regrets about reading this as slowly as I have, because it's letting me actually digest and think as I go, and I really like that. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. There's a good chance if I can get some time today, I'll probably finish and get this up to you before the end of the year. But at this point, it's kind of going to make my favorites of the year list. And that surprises me, if I'm honest. I wasn't expecting it to. I expected it to be one of my favorites of the year, but I didn't expect it to make the list because I'm only picking 10. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Chat with you soon. All right, friends. So I just finished part 4 of Starsight, and I cannot believe that Spencer did that. I literally can't. She just did the one thing I never expected her to do. And I am really, upset that that is what happened. And I really am struggling for a minute. Part 5 is going to be really interesting now, and I'm floored and a little upset. So that's where we're at. And I will chat with you guys after I've read some more. Okay, friends, I just finished Starsight, and it was fantastic. Brandon was mean. He leaves you on a cliffhanger. I'll tell you that right now. It's a cliffhanger, and it sucks. Because it'll be like 2 years till we get the next book. But I have no regrets. I still thoroughly enjoyed this book. Still thoroughly have been enjoying the journey of this Skyward series. And I really like what he did with the story. It basically... Most of the parts played out how I expected them to. Sorry, Lightsong decided to join us all of a sudden. Pardon my rude little head butter here. But yeah, he didn't play all the parts like I expected him to, which is always what I love about reading Sanderson, is you can usually see the general direction he's going, but it doesn't always fully play out how you think it's going to play out. So, with what we got in this book, the world expanded immensely, and I thoroughly enjoyed learning more about other alien races and stuff. This book felt much more like a Star Trek movie. Not like the episodic TV show, but more like the movies. That's how this felt to me. But you definitely have notes of Flight of the Navigator and other things in it as well. But in general, it felt very picturesque, very movie-like. I hope this franchise gets picked up as a TV show or a movie. I would be happy with either. Because I think it would suit really well to a visual format. And it's fantastic. Highly recommend this series if you haven't. And you do have plenty of time to get to it. So if you don't like being on a cliffhanger, maybe hang out a little while before you read it. But I still recommend the series as a whole. And this second book did not suffer from second book slump for me. And there's going to be a total of 4 books in the series as of this moment. And yes, so highly recommend. Definitely check it out. And that's it for this particular vlog. Thank you guys so much for going on this reading journey with me as I read Starsight and also closed my salon. I appreciate everyone who's reached out in love and support with that as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.